Tribalism, the state of being organized by or advocating for tribes or tribal lifestyles. Now, really quickly before we get to that, hello and welcome to the King's Court. Now, if you're a new viewer, hi, how you doing? And if you're a returning viewer, hi, thanks for clicking on the video. Okay. Now, the reason I decided to open up the video with that is because tribalism, I'm just gonna full on say it, tribalism in TCGs and hell, even gaming spheres in general, but I'll focus on TCGs right now, is stupid. It is probably one of the dumbest things ever. Now, I had a totally different video planned out. I was gonna first off, I really need to talk. I was gonna do a video talking about, the current state of the meta. Not a lot of people are happy with Yu-Gi-Oh's newest ban list, and believe me, if you watch our Yu-Gi-Oh content, I kind of agree. A lot more should have been done, but that's a topic for a different day. And I've been meaning to do a discussion on Digimon as well, talking about the current state of Digimon, where the meta is most likely going to go. But I wanted to wait for the ban list to be put into effect, which it recently just did. So I got to do that one soon too. And we haven't done the Pokemon TCG here in the channel in a while. I've been doing a lot more VGC stuff, and I'm still enjoying that. But shoot, I've even been, me and Matilda and Michael have actually even been trying to talking about putting more Pokemon TCG stuff here in the channel. So if you want to see that, like and comment so I know you're interested. But I saw a video recently by one of our favorite channels, me and Chandler and Michael. I've been watching way before we even started doing our own YouTube videos, was Team APS. They're probably one of our favorites still. And recently on, I think their second channel, they did a video talking about how there are a lot of people arguing over one of the stupidest things ever. And this honestly reminds me back in the day when people would argue PlayStation versus Xbox. For any of you younger viewers watching this, there was a time where people argued that, and before PC's gaming took over the gaming sphere like it has already. But that's a different point. The point is, there are a lot of people out there who will legitimately talk a lot of shit, never shut up about, because I swear, Magic players, and no offense to any Magic players watching this, man, I'm probably not your favorite person because of some of the video I've done, I'm not gonna lie, even I've taken a shot at Magic. But the problem is there are a lot of people who want to bring up their own game and literally just completely trash on another game completely. Now, I wanted to talk about this subject because I've talked about it before, but the reason I want to do this now is because, now, you see, here in the channel, me, Chandler, and Michael, and even channel members who are like more of the background members, channel members Miguel and Hector, we all play different games. Channel member Hector really likes board games and stuff like that. Channel member Miguel, he's not really a competitive player. He's always been more of a collector. Like, he likes to collect his favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards and collect shiny Pokemon and favorite Pokemon cards, stuff like that. And he likes Digimon too, but he's always been more like, he's never really been like a super competitive player in any game. Me and Children Michael, though, we've always been the competitive players ourselves. That's why we always do videos talking about, the meta, deck profiles, stuff like that. Because we do, at the end of the day, these are videos we like to do because this is subjects we like to talk about. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've seen other channels try to talk about this subject and try to talk about other TCGs, but they themselves don't really play that TCG. Like, I've seen tons of Digimon players who don't know jack shit about Yu-Gi-Oh! Try talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And vice versa. I've seen, other, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players try talking about, Pokemon or something. They don't know anything about Pokemon, because oftentimes a lot of people usually tend to focus on one or two games at most. Usually one, honestly. And I get that if you're a super hardcore Jesse Cotton level player, and you got to focus that on that one specific game. I get that. But for your average Joe, there are a lot of people out there who really only focus on one game and never give another game a shot, and they just end up talking all trash about it and making other players feel bad, honestly. Now, I wanted to talk about this because this seems to be getting a lot more prevalent these days due to the more abundant TCGs out there, because at one point, Also, I'm going to be blunt, and maybe this is a hot topic for me. I think the concept of a big three is really outdated. It seems like there's always people talking about, oh man, you hear this One Piece is going to replace Yu-Gi-Oh or something for being the top three, or shoot, or I heard some people say like even like dude, Magic is so dead, it's not going to even be in the top three anymore. I'm like, first off, what top three are you talking about? Because this goes back to the old school idea. Because at one point, it is true, realistically, I can't talk today. Was at one point three big TCGs that ruled the world of TCG gaming, and that was Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Magic. And these games are still around to this day. Mostly because out of all the other TCGs that have come and gone, they are usually the ones that would keep their spotlight and consistently keep growing. Pokemon is the one that's been going the longest. Because let's be real, out of all of them, Pokemon is just the biggest IP. It's, if I remember right, Pokemon has replaced Star Wars for the number one selling franchise of all time. So that's not a shocker there. Yu-Gi-Oh has always had a very huge, large core fan base, and Magic itself has like a lot of older players who are still really into it. I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, there are younger players, but oftentimes, let's be real, how many times is it usually because like their dad or someone or their uncle or something probably showed them Magic at a young age. At least that's what I've seen personally. There are probably, there's obviously going to be those rare examples, but usually it's because it's introduced to them. Pokemon, though, is one of those series that spans multiple generations. Every kid, these days sees the anime. They see all the merch selling at stores, all that. So, Pokemon is like it's like a cheat code. Has like a cheat code almost, like an infinite money glitch or something like that, where it's so big it just has to rely on its own namesake, and Pokemon cards will always sell. That's just how Pokemon is at this point. Yu-Gi-Oh, like I said, though, has always had a very large, very, very dedicated fan base. And right now, yeah, things aren't the best for Yu-Gi-Oh, but this sort of thing happens all the time in for long-running series. It always. Let's be real here. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is because these days there are a lot more TCGs out there that have a very large group of people playing them, either going from other games or shoot. I've been seeing people who never played a card game in their life. Probably they collected a couple of Pokemon cards when they were kids, but have never played a competitive TCG ever, but got really into Lorcana. I've seen a lot of people do that because there are a lot of people who still really like Disney. But, so that brings me to this subject. But when the larger a group becomes, the more and more there's going to be this likelihood of a couple of bad, like, rotten apples, you know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong, I don't believe in completely grouping people together. I don't think you should judge an entire group of people just based on the words or actions of a couple of individuals. Like, yes, Yu-Gi-Oh players have have a bad reputation for being whiny, complainy TCG players, and I get that because I have met people like that. But you're really gonna tell me that that doesn't exist in every other TCG? Come on, let's be real here. Yu-Gi-Oh is one of the many card games right now that is so big right now that there's gonna be a few annoying people. I can tell you from firsthand experience, One Piece has that same problem. Due to One Piece being the number one selling manga of all time, it makes sense that there's going to be some people in that group who are also incredibly annoying that just want to honestly glorify their game and completely trash on every single other game. And I feel like that's an issue because the reason I want to talk about this is because I've seen firsthand a lot of people who don't even play certain card games, yet they want to talk trash about it. And it's not always the ones you'd expect. Like, I met Yu-Gi-Oh players who will build like the most meta shit, Snake Eye level meta shit, and just completely trash on Digimon. I've been there, I've experienced that, and I back now personally for me, I don't give two shits. I'm probably gonna curse a bit only because this is a subject I've talked about before, and because one of the biggest things me and Chandler and Michael here on the channel have really tried to put out there is just enjoy the freaking game. It's a game at the end of the day. This isn't the NBA. This isn't the NFL. This isn't even like Major League COD or something. This is a TCG that we all Most of us play for fun. This is a game we play to enjoy to pass the time in an enjoyable way. That's what a hobby is. But if you're gonna make it hostile for other people, then at that point, you yourself are just your own worst enemy, because there's gonna also always bring up other people who are gonna talk trash about your game. And let's be honest here, you can't please everybody. So that's the thing I wanted to talk about, because tribalism basically exists in everything, but especially right now in TCGs, it seems like you got one group of people who want to trash on another group of people's hobby, and they could probably not even be talking about them, but they want to bring them up. Like, I've known a lot of Magic players who completely want to trash on Yu-Gi-Oh all the time, and they don't know jack shit about Yu-Gi-Oh. And there are people who play Pokemon who are super, I'm not gonna lie, a little arrogant to yes how big Pokemon is, but and want to look at every other game like below them or something. And then you got Digimon players. Okay, that one's not as bad, because Digimon, sadly, right, even amongst Bandai games, Digimon seems to be the one that's been getting the short end of the stick lately. Because let's be real, right now, for Bandai TCGs, their favorite child is One Piece, and shoot, I've known, maybe it's just me, but I swear the most annoying people in Yu-Gi-Oh sphere, the Yu-Gi-Oh sphere, went to One Piece. First off, you can have them. I don't, who cares? The less annoying people, the better, if you ask me. But that's sad, because One Piece itself is actually, well. First off, that's another thing I wanted to talk about here in the channel. Me and Chandler and Michael. The reason I'm talking about this in specific is because here we don't really focus on just one game. When me and Chandler and Michael started the channel, we agreed we wanted to have all talk. This is a gaming channel, because we also do video games as well. I do Pokemon VGC, so I haven't really been playing the TCG, because we've always been the two longest card games we played throughout our lives has always been Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, obviously. But Pokemon, for the TCG at least, we've always been back and forth, because it's a rotation based format, and there's not always some of the Pokemon we like aren't always really in rotation or even that good. So it's always like a back and forth thing. So, but right now, Chandler Michael is still really enjoying playing Miraidon. Miraidon got even better with that new Magneton. And Giratina is still playable, and that's my favorite Pokemon of all time. So, shoot, if you want to see any more content around the Pokemon TCG, let me know, and we'll start working on that. But it's not, so we've always played those two. But obviously, if you're subscribed to the channel, we do the Digimon TCG as well. These are probably like the three we focus on the most. But we have also talked about Dragon Ball Fusion World, because for a long time we focused primarily, our main TCG was Dragon Ball Masters. That's around the time when Yu-Gi-Oh first introduced links, and every deck was forced to play them at that point. We were taking a break from the game at that time. And One Piece, here's the thing, when it comes to One Piece, we like it. Like, again, if you've seen any of our older videos, I would use my old One Piece mat, because I've been using that one for a while. Because, again, at the end of the day, we're both just big One Piece fans in general. But the TCG has always been like a little iffy for us. But Chandler Michael still plays his green Uta deck, and me personally, I'm just waiting for the Robin leader. Robin, best One Piece girl, by the way. But so yeah, we have experience playing multiple different games. That's not even it. We plan on even bringing the Hololive TCG here, because we're VTuber fans, which, by the way, I gotta start working on more VTuber videos. And we also have experience playing Weiss. The last time I played Weiss, though, I wanted to play the Batman Ninja deck, but that thing was expensive, so I was playing the Konosuba deck for a while. What else? Let's see. I know Union Arena is probably going to get some hype when it comes out. I'm going to be real. I'm not that really interested in Union Arena. I mean, the Gamera deck looks kind of cool, but it's not really like I'm high on my priority list. I already got enough games to deal with right now. But that's the thing. We have experience playing multiple different card games, so we know each one has its pros and cons. There's no such thing as a perfect TCG, despite what some people want to think. Shoot, Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of issues, but I'm gonna be honest here. Yu-Gi-Oh is still probably, once you get, you ignore a lot of, the annoying parts of the game, like some of the people and all that. Yu-Gi-Oh is probably the most addicting out of all the TCGs. I'm gonna be honest because it's still one of those games where I just can't. Nostalgia aside, the mechanics themselves is just so in your face and aggressive. It's like a fighting game. So and again, I love fighting games. So I think that's why Yu-Gi-Oh has always been like the hardest one to put down. Not like I'm really trying to put it down, but that's what I mean. Pokemon. I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to the TCG for Pokemon, it's like I've talked to this about my friend who's been getting into the Pokemon TCG. You know who you are. He's because I know he's subscribed to the channel. We both agree Pokemon is more like a relaxed kind of game. Like we just want to kick back at locals or something. It's the game. That's the game we like to play because have conversations with our friends and everything and all that. Enjoy the community of everyone and everything, and just because who doesn't love Pokemon honestly. And Digimon is like one of the most unique styles of TCGs in a while. The back and forth, tug of war style, memory style that the game uses is so unique that I think that's what makes Digimon one of the most interesting TCGs right now. And Fusion World and One Piece, like I said, we're big. I'm a huge Dragon Ball and One Piece fan. I was never really that into Naruto or Bleach. No offense to any Naruto or Bleach fans watching this, but when it comes to the really long running shonens, those two have always been my favorite. And I really want, and that's why we still play them, and why we're gonna start bringing more of the content around that to the channel as well. I'm almost done because here's the thing: we didn't have the channel when we played Masters. I played Broly, and I do plan on bringing playing the Broly deck. So if you want to see that soon, I'll try to get that up as soon as I can. And like I said, just waiting for the Robin leader from One Piece, which from what my friends tell me, most won't be out till December for us here in the West. So hey, good thing I'm patient. So yeah, I'm talking about this because it's just really dumb because to really just talk shit about other TCGs just because you want to hype up your own. Because when you're doing that, because no matter what, at the end of the day, we're a sub niche category of gaming. Let's be honest, we're not COD or Fortnite, whatever fucking main popular, MLG game there is, and we're not, or like Apex and all that. We're not that. And let's be, we'll never be like never gonna be like as big as like the NBA or NFL or stuff like that. We're a niche category of gaming. So we really shouldn't be, I'm going to sound like an after school special, but we really shouldn't be, trying to separate each other because at the end of the day, this is a nerdy hobby. We all like to have fun. So we really shouldn't be talking shit all the time about each other just because one of us plays a game you may not like. I mean, I think at least that's how I view it. And I think at the end of the day, no matter what, the most important rule to remember is, at least this is how I feel, these are still just games. They're fun ways to pass the time. Just enjoy them. That's how I see it, at least. And this video is a little everywhere, mainly because I guess you could say in a way I just wanted to get my opinion out there on this subject because this has been something I've always felt because I think it's dumb to talk trash about another person's favorite TCG just so you can hype up your own. Like, people always want to bring up Yu-Gi-Oh's too hard, Yu-Gi-Oh's too fast. Well, some people enjoy that style. Or I've even said myself, Pokemon could be kind of slow, but honestly, that's one of its strengths because of how the Pokemon TCG works. It's a lot easier for pretty much anyone to get into. And that's all I really wanted to talk about. Now, if anything, the only people that need to be judged are the ones who got into One Piece, who don't even read or watch it. I know a couple of you do that. You all sicken me. Okay, I'm just messing around. No, I'm not. But I just wanted to joke, last minute joke. I just wanted to talk about the subject. So let me know in the comments what you think of the idea of this, tribalism and TCGs. Do you think it's stupid? What's your viewpoints on it? I think it's a good thing to point out flaws in certain games and point out the positives in others in order for each game to improve itself. Because, again, everyone knows, what's a good example? Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself has terrible pricing and doesn't promote store leagues. That's a big issue. But, again, this is my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments. And that's pretty much everything for this video. Have a good week. Take care. Bye.